Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something huge that's happening in India's tech world, all thanks to the AI boom. It's a really interesting story about how a potential crisis is turning into a massive opportunity. And it all centers on the one thing India has more of than anywhere else on Earth: its people. So let's get into it.
All right, so let's kick things off with a paradox, one that's really shaking the foundations of India's modern economy. For decades, the IT industry was this unstoppable engine of growth. But now it's facing its biggest challenge ever.
You see AI everywhere in the news, right? And it's making a lot of people ask a really tough question. Is India's world-famous IT industry, an industry built on the brains and skills of millions of people, about to get left in the dust?
So for years, the model was super simple and, honestly, wildly successful. India provided affordable, highly skilled people to build and manage software, but that's now being directly challenged by these new AI agents. You can think of them as smart, autonomous programs that can do really complex work automatically, without needing a massive human workforce.
And look, this isn't some far-off futuristic idea. It's happening right now. It's already affecting how investors see things. They're looking at the huge headcounts of these big IT firms and starting to see a liability, not an asset, in this new age of AI.
But here's the twist. Just as this old model starts to look a little shaky, India finds itself sitting on a secret weapon, a powerful, often overlooked asset that has suddenly become the most valuable commodity in the entire AI economy.
So what exactly is this new gold? Well, to get it, you have to understand what really makes AI tick. It's not just fancy code or powerful chips, it's data. Specifically, it's the massive, messy, diverse data generated by humans that actually teaches an AI how to think, learn, and act in the world.
You've probably heard that saying, data is the new oil. Well, it has never been more accurate than it is today. And if data really is the new oil, then India is basically sitting on one of the biggest, richest, most untapped reserves on the entire planet. This is where the country's population stops being just a number and becomes a strategic economic weapon.
Just think about that number for a second. 1.4 billion people. The amount of digital data that creates every single day, every single second, is just mind-boggling. Every time someone does a search, buys something online, checks in somewhere, sends a message, all of it flows into this gigantic data reservoir. And we're not just talking about surface-level stuff here. Companies have these incredibly detailed profiles on hundreds of millions of us. I mean, think about the information you hand over just to get a new SIM card. Your name, your address, what you buy, where you go, what movies you watch, even your fingerprint. It all paints a complete digital picture of a person's life. So, you've got this massive, unique pool of data, and guess what? The biggest names in global AI are really starting to notice. They need that fuel to power their next generation of AI models. And we just saw a huge signal that this gold rush has officially begun. The AI leader Anthropic, based in the US, is officially teaming up with Reliance, which, through its Jio platform, is probably the single biggest holder of consumer data in all of India. This is a game changer.
Now this is where it gets really wild. Just look at the productivity gap here. An IT giant like TCS has 600,000 employees, and they generate about 50 lakh rupees per person. Now look at Anthropic. With just 3,000 employees, they have the potential to generate 40 crore per person. That is an astonishing 80 times more productive. That's the disruption we're talking about.
So how does this partnership actually work? Well, it's pretty straightforward, really. Reliance has packaged its massive treasure trove of user data into a platform they're calling Jio Brain. They give Anthropic access to this data, and Anthropic uses it to train its AI models, making them smarter and better tailored for India's unique languages, cultures, and behaviors.
And you have to understand, for Reliance, this isn't just another business deal. It's a statement. It's been said that their chairman, Mukesh Ambani, felt they missed the boat on the first big software boom back in the early 2000s. This partnership is a clear signal that says we will not miss this one.
But here's the thing. Reliance isn't the only one with this idea. Their big, bold move is basically kicking off a much, much larger competition right inside India.
What we're seeing now is the very beginning of a new race. It's a race among India's biggest corporate giants. And the goal isn't just about selling more products. The goal is to become the dominant data titan, the company that controls the most valuable resource of the 21st century.
And as you can see, while Reliance is a massive player for sure, they're not the only ones in the ring. I mean, take the Tata Group. They have companies in cars, retail, airlines, you name it. They might actually have an even more diverse and valuable set of data. And then, of course, there's Bharti Airtel, another telecom giant sitting on its own mountain of data.
Okay, so this is really the main point. What we are witnessing is a complete, fundamental pivot in India's entire tech strategy. The country is shifting away from a model of exporting its human talent and IT services and toward a new model of using its own domestic data to power the global AI industry.
And this new value chain, it basically works in 3 simple steps. First, Indian companies provide the raw material, the data from all of us. Second, global AI firms like Anthropic use that data to train their models. And third, those finished, polished AI products get sold right back to the Indian market.
In this whole new system. This brings us to what might be the most important question of all. It's a question that really affects every single one of us in India who has a smartphone.
So let's just quickly recap what we've covered. We've got a problem, right? AI is shaking up the old IT model. But then there's this incredible solution. India's massive population data has become its #1 asset. This is creating a whole new class of data titans and completely changing India's place in the world of tech.
And this really brings it all home. Think about it. That data you gave away, maybe without a second thought, just to sign up for a service or get a SIM card, your name, your location, your habits, that is now the literal fuel for a multi-billion-dollar global industry.
Which, of course, leads to the central dilemma in this new gold rush. In an economy that's built on your personal information, what about you? What about your rights? Should you have any say in how your data gets used and who profits from it?
And that is the critical question we're left with. As India positions itself to be the country that fuels the future of artificial intelligence, who really owns the fuel? The answer to that is going to define the next chapter of India's story.